Hey guys, what's up? My name is Mohit K. Kashyap and I'm from ISVC College of Engineering. So today we're going to learn about India's energy demand and supply and the future energy trends and renewable sources of energy. So moving on to the next slide. So in this slide we're going to look at the projected primary energy consumption in India. So the size and growth of country's population significantly affects the demand for energy. With 1.368 billion citizens, India is ranked second of the most populous countries as of January 2019. The yearly rate is 1.18% and represents almost 17.14% of world's population. The country is expected to have more than 1.383 billion, 1.512 billion, 1.605 billion, 1.658 billion people by the end of 2020, 30, 40, and 50, respectively. Each year, India adds a higher number of people to the world than any other nation, and the specific population of some of the states in India is equal to the population of many countries. The growth of India's energy consumption will be the fastest among all significant economies by 2040, with coal meeting most of this demand, followed by renewable energy. Renewables become second most significant source of domestic power production, overtaking gas and then oil by 2020. The demand for renewables in India will have a tremendous growth of 256 MTO in 2040 from 17 MTO in 2016, with an annual increase of 12% as shown in the table below. As you can look at the table, we have mentioned the surveys over from 1990 to 2040, or half a decade. So as you can look, in 1990 we're using total of 195 MTO, and in 2040 we will be using around of 1921 MTOs, which is an exponential growth of use. So moving on to our next slide. In this slide, we're going to see how renewable energy sources contribute to the energy demand in India. Even though India has achieved a fast and remarkable economic growth, energy is still scarce. Strong economic growth in India is escalating the demand for energy, and more energy sources are required to cover this demand. At the same time, due to the increasing population and environmental deterioration, the country faces the challenge of sustainable development. The gap between demand and supply of power is expected to rise in the future. Table 4 represents the power supply status of the country from 2019 to 2010, 2018 to 2019, until October 2018. In 2018, the energy demand was let me get this right, 1,212,134 gigawatts, and the availability was 1,203,567 gigawatts. That is a deficit of minus 0.7%. As we can look at this table from 2009 to 2010, energy requirement is 830,000 and change. As we fast forward to 2018 to 2019, 2017 to 2018, we can see that it has increased to 1,212,212,000 and some change. As we can also see that the availability has also increased over the years, but we are still in the deficit and we are not in the surplus. Moving on to our next slide. According to the Load Generation and Balance Report of 2016-2017 of the Central Electricity Authority of India, the electrical energy demand for 2K21 to 2K22 is anticipated to be at least 1915 terawatt hours, with a peak peak electrical demand of 298 gigawatts. Increasing urbanization, rising income levels are responsible for an increased demand for electrical appliances. That is, an increased demand for electricity in the residential sector. The increased demand in materials for buildings, transportation, capital goods, and infrastructure is driving the industrial demand for electricity. An increased mechanism and the shift to groundwater irrigation across the country is pushing the pumping and tractor demand in the agriculture sector, and hence the large diesel and electricity demand. The penetration of electrical vehicles and the fuel switch to electric and induction cook stoves will drive the electricity demand in the other sectors shown in the table. So moving on to our next, let us look at the table. So we are measuring in terms of terawatt hours ranging from 2012 to 2047. So moving on to our next slide. So solar energy. Under the National Solar Mission, the MNRE has updated the objective of grid-connected solar power projects from 20 gigawatts by the year 2021-2022 to 100 gigawatts by the year 2021-2022. In 2K8 and 2K9, it reached just 6 megawatts. The Made in India initiative to promote domestic manufacturing supported this great height in solar installation capacity. Currently, India has the fifth largest solar installed capacity worldwide. By 31st of December 2018, solar energy had achieved 25,212.26 megawatts against the target of 2022, and further 22.8 gigawatts of capacity has been tendered out or is under current implementation. MNRE is preparing to bid out the remaining solar energy capacity every year for the periods 2K18 to 2K19 and as well as 2K19 to 2K20, so that bidding may contribute with 100 gigawatts capacity additions by March 2020. In this way, 2 years for the completion of projects would remain. Tariffs will be determined through the competitive bidding process to bring down tariffs significantly. The lowest solar tariff was identified to be INR 2.44 per kilowatts in July 2018. In 2010, solar tariffs amounted to INR 18 per kilowatt. Over the over 1 lakh Over 100,000 lakhs acres of land had been classified for several planned solar parks, out of which over 75,000 acres had been obtained. As of November 2018, 47 solar parks of a total capacity of 26,694 megawatts were established. The aggregate capacity of 4195 megawatts of solar projects has been commissioned inside various solar parks. Table shows the capacity addition compared to the target. It indicates that capacity addition increased exponentially. Moving on to the next slide. So now we are going to discuss about the wind energy. So as of the 31st of December 2018, the total installed capacity of India amounted to 35,138.15 megawatts compared to a target of 60 gigawatts per 2022. India is currently India is currently in fourth position in the world for installed capacity of wind power. Moreover, around 9.4 gigawatts capacity has been tendered or in under current implementation. As we can look at this table, wind power is measured in megawatts. So the National Energy Storage Mission of 2018. The country is working towards the National Energy Storage Mission. A draft of National Energy Storage Mission was proposed in February 2018 and initiated to develop a comprehensive policy and regulatory framework. During the last 4 years, projects included in R&D worth INR 115.115.8 million, which is 1.66 US dollars, 1.66 millions in US dollars, in the domain of energy storage have been launched, and a corpus of INR 48.2 million, which is 0.7 USD, 7 million USD has been issued. India's energy storage mission will provide an opportunity for global competitive battery manufacturing by increasing the battery manufacturing expertise and scaling up its national production capacity. The country can make a substantial economic contribution in this crucial sector. The mission aims to identify the cumulative battery requirements, total market size imports, and domestic manufacturing. Table presents the economic opportunity from battery manufacturing given by the National Institution for Transforming India, also called NITI Aayog, which provides relevant technical advice to central and state governments while designing strategic and long-term policies and programs for the Indian government. As you can look at this table for further information. So the below table shows the global RECI Renewable Energy Country Attractiveness Index report of 40 countries. And we can see that in first rank we have China, second USA, third Brazil, fourth Germany, and the fifth largest we have is India. In hydropower, when we don't include hydropower, India is in the fourth largest country. In biopower, India is the fifth largest. In wind power, India is the fourth largest, and in CSP, India is the fourth largest. So the warning of solar tariffs, import tariffs, and conflicts between developers and distribution firms are growing investor concerns, as we can see. So moving on to the next slide. So as we can look in this table, look at this table, we can see the overall rank of the countries. China ranking 1 and India ranking 3rd in technology specific score out of 100. India ranking 3rd in all the renewable resources, and the rest of the countries. Moving on to the next slide. Thank you guys for watching this video. Have a great day and Merry Christmas.